Hello, 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 and welcome back to Fixing Commons County here in Cities Skylines 2, where we are back for yet another episode where we are still spent, yes, in this industrial district, trapped here until finally we complete it this episode, hopefully, and we can escape and start working on the rest of the city. I know it's been a long time, but we are getting so close. We now have this beautiful industrial pop-out area, and we are so close to just filling in the rest of this area with the finished roads and putting all the buildings in. We are so close. So let's get into it. One of the things that I really want to do today is make sure that this island here in the center is really special. I want to connect up all the rail networks and put in that subway station that we were talking about last episode. Connect up all the trains, make sure we have industrial district all in here, detail that all up, and make sure this whole claw that we've created is pretty good to go. So let's see what we can do. Maybe it's a bit of an extended time lapse. Okay, I thought I would bring us in for a little bit of a progress update. We've been going for quite a while now. I know it's been a little bit long of a time lapse so far, but we've got more to do. As you can see, this area is really coming together where you got some absolutely crazy roads, but these piers, the bits of the claw, are fully filled out. What I've done is I've taken the most lighthousey, towery type of things that we can do and put them on either end. The idea being that maybe this is our radar to connect to all the ships out here, and this is our lighthouse to warn them as they're getting closer to land. That's kind of the idea. Maybe it doesn't work too well, but at least visually, I think it's helping us out a little bit. We have a whole lot of parking on this side and really all throughout this place, because if you end up looking at an industrial park on Google Maps, it tends to just be completely packed with parking. I put in a couple of warehouses for this cargo harbor, but one really nearby and one on this middle island. The one that's on this middle island will hopefully facilitate some really good truck traffic that runs back and forth over here. You can actually see that we're getting a really good amount of cargo oh, these are dump trucks. We're getting a good amount of dump trucks, good amount of traffic over here. It's pretty interesting the path that they're taking, and I'm wondering why that is. But you can see with these roadways, we've actually began to connect everything up to the highway. So originally we had these 3 roundabouts. This one had a road that led right into it from this highway. And then this one kind of continued on and formed this back road with this one ramp going down it after we demolished everything. So what I ended up doing is bringing in a split divided 4-lane road over here, putting our elevated subway track in there just because I knew that that's something that we wanted to have, and then using that wider road as kind of this traffic element. I still need to connect up this final bit up to this alley right over here underneath the train intersection, but I have taken these intersections through and followed them up. This is an existing intersection, so I just continued the road down and curved it around. This was where that 4-lane road ended, so I just brought the road up into this existing roundabout. Then this is where our 2 bridges fed in, so I created a new 4-lane road and then split the road off towards both of these roundabouts, one of them going towards the highway, the other one going towards the rest of this larger industrial district area. Then this roundabout also had this kind of bridge segment left floating, so I just took that and I connected it down to some new 4-lane segments over here and brought that in as kind of this highway transition. So in theory, while people could take this highway exit and this interchange over here to get from the airport highway onto the main highway, they could also take these back roads and kind of run down through these more congested area, this congested road, which is going to have a lot of cargo traffic, and then head up to this roundabout, and that's the other way for them to get onto this highway. It's a little more convoluted, and that's just how we like them. I've kept a lot of these buildings here as kind of this historic area. It needs more detailing, but conceptually that's there. Here I've just put in some of these buildings that I thought looked pretty unique. These are special buildings, the Ground Earth and the Dairy House buildings. Both of these have a lot of employees. This one has 86 in the Dairy House, and this one has 92. So that's hopefully going to get some really nice traffic coming onto this island and using up some of these parking lots. Then lastly, closer to the harbor, in addition to adding a whole bunch of parking for all the passengers, I put in a hotel and a mini hotel just to start to get some of this idea, kind of like we had over here for people who are coming in through this harbor, through this port, through the airport, so that they have somewhere that they can stay, maybe good for transfers. Then I put in a little bit of an amenity space, both for the harbor and for these hotels, but also just in general for this region, because we don't really have a lot of amenity space around here, which makes sense because it is an industrial area. But just having this little park, especially in what I would consider to be one of the most beautiful parts of the area, is just so worth it. But of course the pier ends with some industrial area, which is why this park is the one of all of them that I chose to keep fenced in. Now honestly, I am really like how this is looking, especially because it is so gray. We do have some bits of trees that break it up, a little bit of small greenery here and there, but it's not overwhelming, and I think that's exactly how it is in real life too. So if we can continue kind of this motif that we have going on, maybe bring in some more containers, bring in more parking, and just fill in the rest of this area until we're all the way set, I think we'll be in a pretty good place. I might want to add even more complication to these road networks because, you know, we got some kind of cut off networks. We've got all of this that's not fully feeding in as much as we could. But I do like the complication that we've got going on right now, and I think we just need to fill it in with some buildings.
Despite the fact that you stole my score, after all you have put me through, you really thought I'd be like you. Go away, see me again. Please go away and never see me again. I could never ever be your friend. Your years don't
Okay, let's just come on in again, and I want to show you some more of the progress. Let's just zoom out and take a look at this. You can see already, just from above, how much more filled in it's starting to get. You can see the gray is creeping in, the green is getting pushed further and further away. Oh, yes. I've connected up the train tracks over here. We've got a pretty cool intersection over here where the train tracks kind of curve through the center of it. This is just super cool, showing the power of Cities Skylines 2. And Cities Skylines 1, you never would have been able to have something as complicated as this. In reality, it's not actually that complicated. You just got a normal intersection with some trains running through it. But for a video game, to render it, show it, and it to be functional is so challenging. And this is working in City Skylines 2. And I'd like to see that a little bit more once we get some trains running into here. But for now, it's looking pretty cool, honestly. And you can see I'm starting to basically do a block by block strategy, where slowly I'm taking these blocks and I'm increasing them, making them feel a little bit better. You can see that this block was transformed from something that looks pretty much like this or like this into something that feels a whole lot fuller. I've added a few higher density things just to kind of add a little bit of variety to the height of the area. In addition to these cranes, we just have a couple of taller buildings. I don't think we're going to add that much. We're going to let the rest stay mostly pretty low. But I think it's adding a little bit of extra fun to the area, especially if, and this is a big if I'm able to run the subway through here somehow. If I can run it in between these buildings before carrying it over and running it maybe right into there, if I can kind of start to bring it so that it's in line with this street and run it parallel, I think that could be a lot of fun. The challenge would be getting over this bridge, of course, but I think that's workable. You know what, let's do that together. Let's do that right now, because just saying that out loud got me real excited about it. So we're gonna have to raise this up a fair bit, quite a lot actually. Let's say maybe like a whole 50 feet up. If we go 50 feet up, then suddenly we're no longer interfering with these things anymore. And if we put our pole right there, something like that, carry it through, just anarchy that in, and maybe that gets the clearance that we want. Oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah, that's what we like to see. That's what we love to see. So maybe this is how we'll do it. And then we'll start lowering this so that we can feed it into right here, and maybe have it go right into a tunnel so that it can connect into our station. Let's try that. There we go. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. We got ourselves nice and clean. We got ourselves a subway that heads up the hill, over these parking lots, over this exit ramp that runs down through the middle of this town and industrial center, and then makes its way right back down through this infrastructure heavy area and to underground to connect up with this train station. That's phenomenal. I think what I want to do is actually already reroute the subway line exactly like that. Now we have our subway line running through this new elevated section. We should start to see the trains running through this new area. That means that this tunnel that's now dug underneath this whole area, and this bridge where this red train is currently going, this is now going to be just for serving these subway yards. The main train line is going to continue straight and kind of wrap around the waterfront. It'll go through the train yard still. It comes up here before it heads on down to this final station, but it does not use this great big tunnel and this bridge right here anymore. It mostly uses this new industrial area elevated segment. And I think that putting that in has made this area look so very cool. It looks almost like a viaduct of some sorts, like you would see in a big, well-developed city. Just look at this little picture that we have right here. This is really starting to feel like an industrial area. There's obviously still more to go. You can see that some of these blocks are still really undeveloped, but I think we can just fill that in and finish things off really shortly. It is amazing how much difference just a few small surfaces and details and decals and textures can make to an area. This area, I really haven't changed that much. Yes, I've added a whole bunch of roads, but building-wise, the buildings are mostly the same in most of these areas, but just adding in this extra detail has completely transformed the area. Now we have so much more traffic, it feels so much more vibrant, and we have so much more detail. Like every area has a purpose. You can see that this area might be used for storing a bunch of dirt and storing some of these vehicles. We have these rocks, we have these rubble piles around here. Over here, we have an active construction site with a whole bunch of crates stored, a crane, and some more rubble all around there. We've got so many containers just packed into all of the tiniest corners where there's no parking lots. And parking lots aren't able to fit in something like this, so we just put a bunch of containers in there. We've got rubble scattered all around. And of course, this intersection, just by adding some trees and then adding in this more rough surface, that it's not this beautiful, pristine, clean grass we have everywhere else, by roughening it up, it just feels so much more worn down and lived in. It just creates a much more deliberate and intentional area all throughout this region. And by doing that, we've really tied everything together. Now, rather than it just feeling like airports, railroad areas, and industrial area, it all feels like a cohesive district. And you can really feel that when we're going up and above. You can see that this is just a big area of industry and heavy duty area. Yes, we've got some dense forest in between here. I reforested the area where the subways used to be. I added a few little green bands, kind of like in Seattle. I think I've talked about in the past, there's this green band on where there's a hill and where there's a cliff. So we have a few of these areas that aren't as packed with stuff, but in the areas where it's flat enough and low enough to put stuff in there, we made sure to do that, and it has just completely transformed how we look at the area. I'm so happy to have finally finished off this industrial area and pulled it into a better place. You know, the rest of the city is really lacking in attention, but right here, this industrial area is now a gold standard for what we want these other areas in the city to be. We have some really complex functional infrastructure. It all feels very lived in, really detailed. And honestly, if we just take a look at this picture right here, this feels so remarkably realistic, considering the fact that this is a video game, y'all. This is a video game, but we have moving cars, we have traffic, we have airplanes, we have all of this moving parts. This movement gives it life. The textures give it life, the functionality and the variety. And to be completely honest, some of the jank, some of the bits that are unrealistic make it more realistic. Because believe it or not, unrealistic things happen in the real world too, things that you don't really understand. Why would they build a whole new bridge and instead of just replacing the old one? Well, maybe the old one has character, maybe they just have some money to spare, or maybe they need a second way out of this island because of a fire that happened there. Why are these buildings so high? Why is the subway elevated? Maybe they didn't want to demolish the area. These are unrealistic things that happen in real life too, and it just adds so much life and vibrancy to this area. I am so happy with how this industrial district has turned out over the past, 5 or 6 episodes now? Just absolutely bonkers how long you can spend on just such a small, I guess it's a pretty big area to be fair, but on such a compact and singular focused area. We have barely touched what we can do with residential detailing. We've barely touched commercial and city blocks. All that we've done is created infrastructure upon infrastructure upon infrastructure, industry, all this stuff. And honestly, you're not going to find me complaining about it. It's just so wonderful. So thank you all for coming on this journey with me. There will be more Cities Skylines 2 to come as we begin to touch other parts of the city. But in terms of finally finishing off this long-awaited industrial area, I think we've finally reached that point. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.